So I want everybody, this will get you working, everybody in the room who has gone with their family to Disneyland or Walt Disney World Resort, please stand up. No brainer, right? Okay. Now, here's the next test. No, stand. Okay, so now everybody who has done that and has purchased at least one Disney trading pin, please stay standing.
Oh, if you have to.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yes, you have
Not
to.
as much as I thought. Now, everybody who has spent $30 or more on Disney trading pins, stay standing.
I have children.
About $50 or more. $100 or more. Okay, that's it. I won't make it. Okay. So the point here is that Disney pin trading is a pretty big deal for not just the parks, but actually for the entire company. Pins have been around since Disneyland was first introduced. But pin trading was introduced in 1999 at the Millennium Celebration at Walt Disney World Resort. Since that time, it's rolled out to all the resorts, as well as Aulani and Disney Cruise Line. So it's a pretty big deal. Now, going back to how that relates to our project. During our brainstorming couch sessions, we had two really passionate ideas on the team. One, the makers, the hardware tinkerers, really wanted to do an Internet of Things kind of project. Wanted to play around with that. The second team really wanted to do something that could impact the in-park experience. We also had Charlie, who you saw raised his hands and was in the $100 plus club there, and others who were really passionate about pin trading. And we eventually converged on this idea of, well, how could we combine the Internet of Things with an established property like Disney pin trading and make something out of that. So with that, I give you Disney Pin Trading Plus. So Disney Pin Trading Plus combines technology with storytelling to create a magical, connected pin trading experience. So imagine guests who can purchase new interactive pins that they can attach to their lanyard, that they could cooperate with their family or maybe with other guests while they're waiting in line. Maybe they're doing a trivia quiz or they're doing some kind of other activity. Maybe they'll be rewarded with a fast pass for doing that. Imagine if they could be automatically alerted if there was a cast member or another guest nearby who had a pin that they were interested in trading. Imagine if they could participate in the fireworks spectacles and glow at the show with their lanyard or their pins. So these are the type of things we imagine doing with that platform. So let's walk you through a little bit more on the vision for the platform. The guest still remains at the center of the Disney pin trading experience. With this platform, it allows us to develop a closer relationship with those pin trading enthusiasts and allows them to engage in immersive, interactive experience that harnesses their passion that they already have for pin trading. So the digital lanyard, and we've got it up here, you'll see it in a minute, is at the heart of the magic. It is self-powered, and it leverages the parent smartphone to connect to the internet and facilitate interactions with the park and with other guests. It will have fixed slots to attach the magic pins, as well as lots of rooms to attach the traditional pins. We imagine it supporting all of the Magic Band capabilities, such as RF and NFC communication, as well as having an RGB LED to provide visual effects, an audio processor and speaker to provide audio and media playback, and the ability to broadcast itself as a DVD. Magic pins are trading pins that will work with the digital lanyard to trigger special interactions. We imagine them being capacitive, touch sensitive, and including an RGB LED for interactions. D-Beacon technology, and I've got one sitting here in my pocket, actually it's an iBeacon, but it's going to pretend to be a D-Beacon. It's already being introduced throughout the parks, and the digital lanyard is able to act both as a D-Beacon and to recognize nearby D-Beacons, enabling proximity-based interactions. And we'll demonstrate that in just a minute. The Pinventory app, well, first of all, the Disney pin trading community is a really vibrant one. There are literally dozens, if not hundreds, of pin trading sites, Facebook groups, fan clubs, and other kind of organizations across the web and around the world. The Pinventory app will become Disney's official community for pin trading enthusiasts. It's a gap in the marketplace, we believe, today for Disney. It will support collecting, purchasing, trading, and discussing all things Disney pin trading. It is automatically synchronized with your digital lanyard, making keeping track of your magic pins easy and fun. The inventory app will work seamlessly with the Shop Disney Parks app, making it easier than ever before to discover your trading pins, purchase them, and have them delivered right to your door. Now, I want to walk, and we're going to have a live demo. Let's watch the entire Disney pin trading platform in action through a live demonstration. And bear with me a minute while I switch over to our remote team in Orlando.
And can you hear me?
Just give it a second here, Ryan.
Sure.
And with that, cross your fingers, I think we're ready.
All right, so for our demo, we're going to follow Brian through a typical vacation day at Walt Disney World Resort. Brian is a Disney-phile. He starts his day out bright and early during extra magic hours at Epcot. Since Brian is also an avid pin trader, his first stop is in Pin Central. He discovers the new magic pins and purchases a starter pack, which includes a digital lanyard and several magic pins. After acquiring the starter pack, Brian pulls out his smartphone, opens up the Pinventory app, and signs in using Disney ID. He is taken to the Pinventory screen, and the digital lanyard that he just purchased is immediately recognized. He notices that there are a couple other pages across the bottom, including a badges page. Brian then places his magic pins on his lanyard. As he pops each pin onto the lanyard, his Pinventory is updated to include the pins that he just added. As a reward for adding his first pin, he also received an unlockable badge that would show up through a push notification if his phone was locked. Since his phone is already unlocked and he's using the app, Brian can go here to see all the badges that he has earned. As an eager pin trader, Brian immediately finds another guest to trade one of his starter pack pins with. He exchanges pins, and when he adds the traded pin to his digital lanyard, it is automatically added to his Pinventory. When Brian removes the pin from his lanyard, that pin is automatically removed from Brian's Pinventory. And because he is such an avid collector, Brian wants to see what other pins are also available. He goes to the Pin Central page in the app to browse other pins. He is a huge Frozen fan, so he searches for Frozen and finds an Anna pin that suits his fancy. Clicking to see more details, he sees that he can go straight to the Disney Source site to purchase the pin immediately and have it delivered to his home. Brian also has a collection of traditional physical pins that he wants to add to his Pinventory. With the integrated support for non-magic pins, all he has to do is click the Add Pin button and scan the barcode on the back of his newly purchased Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge trading pin. This immediately adds the pin to his Pinventory.
Okay, and we're going to bring it back here to Seattle. Just make sure we go back on. Okay.
So later in the day, Brian is waiting in the queue for Star Tours, and he notices that the queue has changed since he last visited.
Give me 1 second.
Okay?
What was it?
Okay. So he's waiting in the queue at Star Tours, and he notices that it's changed, and he approaches the newly installed force fight in the queue attraction.
Okay.
So he's automatically joined into the game as he approaches. Brian and the guests around him touch magic pins on their digital lanyards to work together to battle Darth Vader. And when Darth Vader is successfully vanquished, Brian and his teammates are awarded the Force Fight badge, which immediately shows up in the Pinventory app.
Okay, bear with us, our guys are bad shots here. And so the guys remotely are playing over our lanyard simulator, so they're actually working on their browsers, blind, but we do have some cheat buttons built in. We're almost there.
Nice. Yeah.
Okay.
So now the Force Fight Challenge merit badge will be added to the inventory. So that's not the end of Brian's day, and he decides to finish off his day by attending his favorite fireworks show, the Wishes Nighttime Spectacular at Magic Kingdom. And as the fireworks show begins, Brian is surprised and delighted to see that his glow with the show magic pin that was included in the starter pack is causing his digital lantern to flash in time with the show. What a great way to cap off a fantastic day at Walt Disney World Resort.
Okay, you guys. Okay, so just to summarize a little bit, wanted to spend some time on the value achieved here. You know, we did a lot of stuff here that was sort of product oriented, and DTSS is not a product team, but you know, this was a couple of things really did bring some immediate value. First off, I mentioned earlier that you know, we don't feel as a team Disney has really that great presence in the internet and mobile space for that Disney pin trading community. And that pin inventory as a service, there actually is a live service now that could be put into production that offers modern RESTful APIs that could be integrated with MyMagic Plus or with the Shop Disney part by a product team that could at least build the analog parts of pin trading and bring them online and take control of that community. We really think that that could add to incremental revenue. So that's the first thing. Then, in terms of team technology skills, behind the scenes, Fastcast was what was driving these communications across the coast and actually back to the board and everything. We got to play with, well, not quite D-Beacons, we played with iBeacon. We leveraged the Parks and Resorts reference architecture for some of the mobile app, as well as Firebase. What you saw there was a Firebase mobile app. We got lots of fun playing on Arduinos and doing embedded programming. Some of the other things we got to do were collaborating both across geography and across time. So there were some really great skills on having a larger project and vision, but how can we parallelize that into pods, execute independently, and then bring it together literally at the last minute to get it working. And then also just fostering creativity and boosting morale. So I just wanted to close off with a thank you. You'll see tons of names here. We had 100% participation in the brainstorming part of the ideas, and then different people kind of flitted in and out of different aspects of the project. Just wanted to sort of recognize them. So any questions or thoughts?
I think it looks great. Fantastic.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.